Sa labas ng maingay at abalang mga kalye ng Maynila ay may isang santuaryo ng katahimikan at pagninilay-nilay. Isang lugar na puno ng kasaysayan at kultura. At sa likod nito ay mayroong mga kwento. Kwento ng pag-asa, tradisyon at paniniwala. Matatagpuan sa loob ng Tondo, Manila, ang pinakamatandang Buddhist temple sa Pilipinas, ang Sengwen Shi's Chinese o mas kilala na Sengwen Temple. Ito ay hindi lamang isang estruktura, bagkus ito ay puno ng kasaysayan at salaysay na sumasalamin sa pakikibaka at tagumpay ng komunidad ng Tsino sa Pilipinas. Nagsimula ang kwento sa pagdating ng mga unang Tsino sa bansa, nadala ang kanilang mga paniniwala at tradisyon. Sa pagtatayo ng Sengwen Temple noong taong 1842, naging sentro ito ng mga pananampalataya at ritual ng komunidad ng Tsino. Sa bawat dambana at altar ay may kwento ng pag-asa na nagpapaalala ng kanilang pinagmulan at pagtahak sa hinaharap. Kami ay nagkaroon ng pagkakataon na makapanayamang isa sa mga monghe sa templo.
So name is Heron in English, and I'm now 35. Yeah, I've been Buddhist monk or Buddhist practitioner. Maybe practitioner is better.
Yeah, Buddhist practitioner.
Yeah, for 11 years. Yeah, just want to translate the traditional Chinese scriptures about the wisdom of awake, not Buddha. I want to talk about awake because Buddha is awake, nothing else. That's very important. Yeah.
Ang Sengwen Temple ay isa sa mga pinakamahalagang institusyon sa komunidad na nagbibigay ng hindi lamang espiritual na gabay, kundi pati na rin ang suporta at pagkakaisa sa mga Tsino-Pilipino sa Tondo. Sa pagsapit ng araw, ang mga mananampalataya ay dumadagsa sa templo, dala ang kanilang mga dasal at panalangin. Ang amoy ng insenso ay bumabalot sa paligid na nagdadala ng kapayapaan at pagpapala sa bawat dumadaan. Ang mga naglalakihang lapida sa labas ng templo ay nagpapakita ng kanilang mga pangalan na nagmumungkahi ng mga alaala ng mga yumao at naglalaan ng paggalang sa kanilang mga ninuno. Ang mga matandang pader nito ay nagpapahiwatig ng mga kwento ng nakaraan, isang saksi sa mga taon ng pagbabago at pag-unlad.
The Sengwen Temple, the meaning is very beautiful. Sing, like a belief. Guan, like aspiration. So the meaning,
So that's the meaning.
of the temple, like a belief and aspiration.
Seng means belief,
Belief.
and then Guan means
Aspiration. Yeah.
Noong taong 1948 ay dumanas na matinding hamon ng templo nang magkaroon ng isang trahedya. Tinupok ng lumalagablab na apoy ang templo. Dahil gawa sa materyales na kahoy ay madali itong natupok ng apoy. Lubhang naapektuhan ang bawat bahagi ng templo, ngunit naisalba ang mga rebulto ni Buddha. Sa kabila ng nangyaring trahedya ay hindi nagpatinag at pinanghinaan ng loob ang mga mananampalataya. Sila ay unti-unting bumangon at muling sinimulang itayo ang templo. Nagtulong-tulong ang bawat mananampalataya at mga monghe. At dahil dito ay muli itong nakabangon at naitayo. Sa loob ng templo, ang mga dekorasyon ay nagpapahiwatig ng kahalagahan ng kasaysayan at kultura. Ang mga pinturang naglalarawan ng mga Diyos-Diyosan na nagbibigay ng inspirasyon at pag-asa sa mga mananampalataya. Ang mga altar na may ilaw at mga kandila ay nagbibigay ng liwanag sa mga puso ng mga nagdarasal. Nagdadala ng init at pag-asa sa gitna ng dilim at pagsubok. Sa tuwing may mga pagdiriwang at okasyon, ang Sengguan Temple ay nagiging sentro ng pagtitipon at kasiyahan.
Fundamentally speaking, Buddhist temple, Buddhist monastery belong to every human being, all and every human beings, animals, and other maybe mysterious beings. Yeah, it's for everyone. Yeah, but there should be harmony. Other religions, of course, you can be here, but be harmony and be friendly. That's enough. Yeah, everyone is welcome. Yeah.
Ang Sengguan Buddhist Shrine o Temple ay may tatlong pangunahing bulwagan. Sa unang palapag ay mayroong Avalokiteshvara na isang sagisag ng bertud ng habag. Ang shrine na ito ay nagpapahintulot sa mga Buddhist practitioner na magbigay pugay sa kanilang mga ninuno dahil naniniwala sila na ginagarantiyahan nila ang kapakanan ng kanilang mga ninuno kahit na pagkatapos ng kamatayan. Ginagawa nila ito sa pamamagitan ng pag-aalay ng mga panalangin at pag-iilaw ng mga insenso. Humihingi din sila ng karunungan at gabay sa pamamagitan ng pagdadasal sa kanilang mga ninuno, partikular na sa paggawa ng malalaking desisyon. Sa ikalawang palapag, makikita ang lecture hall na nagpapakita ng mga eskultura ng buhay ni Buddha sa lupa patungo sa tinatawag na Enlightenment. Nagsimula sa kanyang kapanganakan bilang isang prinsipe hanggang sa iwan niya ang kanyang buhay upang marating ang tinatawag na Enlightenment. Siya ay tumulong sa sangkatauhan hanggang sa siya ay namatay. Ang engrandeng bulwagan naman na tinatawag na Hall of 10,000 Buddhas ay naglalaman ng isang higanting Buddha sa gitna ng bulwagan. Ang isang malaking tile na hugis lotus ay matatagpuan sa ibaba lamang ng stupa na may linya ng 10,000 Buddha relics. Kaya't binansagan itong Hall of 10,000 Buddha.
Buddhas, divine beings, holy beings, not just language, but the meaning behind the language is most important. Language, that's okay to use the deities. I know that's I must make it clear. It could be human beings. It's most importantly because we are human beings. Because Buddha is awakened human beings. Not so strange. Not the spirits, human beings, but we are human beings. But we cannot be called 100% awake. Buddha is the meaning of Buddha is awake. Buddhism, Buddha Dharma, Buddhist. The words start with Buddha. That's meaning is awake. Yeah, be awake. Almost every day, group practice. Group. But nowadays, maybe many by like the chosen by the patrons. The practitioners, lay practitioners, group practice, for the longevity practice, for their good fortune, etc. Everyone wants to be healthy like that. But ourselves, every individual, that's most important. You must be practice first yourself. Then you can talk with others. Maybe fundamentally speaking, Buddhist temple, Buddhist monastery belong to every human being, all and every human beings, animals, and other maybe mysterious beings. Yeah, it's for everyone. Yeah, but there should be harmony. Other religions, of course, you can be here, but be harmony and be friendly. That's enough. Yeah, everyone is welcome. They have the maybe for thousands of years they have the tradition from family, family and the atmosphere, the society. They have the habits of maybe worshiping the divine beings. I don't know. Maybe they are practicing Buddha Dharma. Then let's assume maybe 20% practicing the authentic Buddha Dharma. Like to be 100% awake. That's the Buddha Dharma. That's the definition. And maybe the 80% they're just making fortune, making money, be healthy. That is a worldly concern, but it's okay, accepted in our temple. So helping maybe to do business, because businessmen, that's important these days. Maybe some companies, they are fighting, they are having problems with each other. They go to the court, but one day they also believe in maybe the temple, Buddha Dharma. They come here, they can shake hands, be friends again. That's very useful, Yeah. Yeah, there's one temple in our in our philosophy or our Dharma, Buddha Dharma. One temple, yeah, it's small here, but as I said before, one temple belongs to everyone. So this one temple is a representative of all the temples around the world, not only in China, also Thailand, Europe, American, yeah, everywhere, Australia, everywhere. So this one temple, because we are practicing Buddha Dharma, as long as Buddha Dharma is protected, and as long as it's practiced, that's most importantly. We talk and we practice. Giving teaching as we interview our the messages through internet, make everyone know about it, and then practice by herself, by myself. Maybe one person is enough. If you are, practicing, that's okay. That's the fundamentally continuation of a monastery, every monastery. But from outside, like the construction, like the upgrading of the decorations, that's secondary, not so important. Earlier, 1949,
1940.
and the fire, I don't know where it starts. Almost, because at that time it's almost wood building.
Fire.
Consumed by fire almost completely, but only maybe the statue of Avalokiteshvara, were not damaged. So after the fire, because the statue remain like 100% okay, So the practitioners, the businessmen, they get more confidence about this temple. So very soon they make offerings, they do the construction themselves. So very soon, maybe 1 year, the porter,
Already.
and
Constructed.
rebuilt, constructed the new buildings better than before. We are familiar because we are from the so-called Mahayana, the Mandarin speaking. We speak in Chinese, so we are familiar with the Chinese section.
Yeah.
Of course, here I know that Thailand, there are Thailand monks here, and also Tibetan monks here. I know, and even what's the country? Bhutan. I met one Bhutan monk. But also Buddha Dharma. Ideally speaking, I must give up my little self, my little family, and serve as the, servant, as the, for the benefits of the bigger community, like for everybody, every human beings, and every animals, other beings. And this is core, like the core value or practice for Buddha Dharma.